Hey everyone, welcome to Preeti's Kitchen. Today let's make a classic French apple pie. This recipe for French apple pie with streusel topping is a classic. You can call it an apple crumble pie, Dutch apple pie. The streusel topping only adds a sweet buttery finish, and pair it with creme anglaise and you have a perfect summer dessert. So let's get started. So the first step is we'll take a 9-inch pie dish. You can take a 9 to 10 inches pie dish with a loose bottom so that it's easy to take out the pie when it is baked. We'll keep this aside. Let's take a clean bowl, and to this I'm adding about 457 grams of all-purpose flour. Now this quantity is equivalent to making about 2 pie shells. So if you want to make half the quantity, just 1 pie shell, just half the recipe of the pie crust. So to this I'm adding cold cubed butter. Make sure that your butter is cubed and cold, so keep it in the ref after you have cubed it so that it's frozen. It's very important to get a flaky crust. I'm adding it to my flour. Now we are going to pulse it down, the flour and the butter, till the time the butter turns into a pea size. So you can see this has become pea size, the butter. This is when you want to leave it. To this I'm adding about 2 teaspoons of salt, the regular salt. Mix it nicely. So to get a crusty, flaky crust, you need to have cold butter and ice cold water. So I'm taking about half a cup of water. I'll go gradually just in case I need less. So you have to make sure your butter and your water is cold, ice cold. So we have to make a dough. Let's do it gradually. Okay, so I have kneaded the dough till the dough holds together. Let's bring it out to the surface. Just bring it together and wrap it in a cling film for 30 minutes for the dough to rest and relax. You can also keep it in the freezer for 15 minutes in case you want it sooner, or it can also stay good for almost a month in the freezer. Okay, the next we're going to make the filling. I'm taking 4 tablespoons of cassava flour. You can also take tapioca flour. Then 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. 1 teaspoon cinnamon powder, ground cinnamon. You can increase if you like. 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Half a cup of brown sugar and 1/4 cup of the regular white sugar. We'll mix this together nicely. And now I have cut 4 green apples and 4 red apples, which I'm going to add. Just slice them, something like this. We'll mix them nicely with the sugar. So you want good quantity of apple so that it forms a dome when you're filling it. Then the pie looks nice. Okay, so this is done, you can see. I'll keep this aside and let's roll our dough, which has been resting in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. So the dough is out of the ref. I'm going to take half of this. Half I will use it later to make the pie, so this I can keep it in my ref. Okay, so just take 2 parchment papers. I've dusted some flour, dry flour on this one, and I've kept the half of the dough ball. The rest half is resting in the ref. So I'm taking the second one. Just keep it. It's easier to roll like this since it has butter. It will stick to your rolling pin. So just roll already rolled to a big diameter. Check with your pie tin the size that you require. It should be bigger than the diameter of your pie tin. Do not cut it at this point. Alright, so just use a rolling pin and the parchment paper. Flip it very gently. And like that. Don't worry if anything cracks, you can always press it like that. Gently press it down. Don't make it too taut or tight. Very gently work with the dough, because when we bake, the dough shrinks. So if you make it too tight at the base, it will shrink and go further down. Just cut the sides. Do not worry about anything that cracks, because once you put the filling, the inside of the pie will not be seen. I'm just removing the ones on the top, the extra bit. You can use a scissor, you can use a pizza cutter. If you're good with knife, use a knife. In case you have a pie dish which does not have a formation like mine has got ripples on the side. If it is a plain pie dish, you can always make some design. You can use a fork, or maybe I can here. If you have a plain one, so just go with your index finger like that. Again, press it with these two hands. Something like this you can make it. Since my pie dish has a ripple, as you can see, I'm just going to press against it to get that design on the pie when it bakes. So I'm going to cling wrap this and keep it in the refrigerator for 15 minutes for the butter to harden again before we do the filling. So then let's make the streusel. Let's start with the streusel filling. I'm taking 1 cup all-purpose flour. To this I will add 1/4 cup of brown sugar, light brown sugar. I've added about half a teaspoon of cinnamon powder. That's optional. If you like, you can. Otherwise, you can skip it. Half a cup of unsalted butter, which is frozen and cubed. Make sure this is frozen again, because you want your streusel to have lumps of butter when it bakes. This is the topping that we are making for our pie. Once the filling is done, use just the top of your fingers to combine, else the butter will start melting. Alright, the streusel topping is ready. Check, I have still lumps of butter. Don't make it any smaller than this. Let's keep this aside. So I've taken out the pie tin from the ref after 15 minutes. Let's do the filling. The apples are also out. I'll just, since they have been resting for too long, there's liquid in it, you can see. Alright, so let's start lining. You can mix your apples the way you like to. If you want to do red, whatever, you can just do it together. Yeah. So we have to make sure that we make a dome. Preheat your oven to about 180 degrees Celsius, and we will bake this after the filling is done for about 40 minutes to 1 hour till the top turns golden in color. So I have done the filling. Make sure that you make a dome so that when the pie bakes, it looks like that. Let's put the streusel filling. So most of the apple pies also have, after baking, you can also put some grated cheddar cheese. It's an option if you like. I would not be doing it, but if you like to try, you can do it as well. The only thing that I would be doing on this streusel topping will be chopped walnuts, because I like to have a little crunchy texture on my pie. So this is again optional. These are chopped walnuts. If you like, you can put. If you don't, you can omit it. All up to you. Hope your oven is preheated at 180 degrees Celsius. We'll bake this for about 40 minutes or till 1 hour, till the top turns golden in color. So let's bake this in the oven now. So this is out of the oven. It has baked very nicely. You can see the top is golden in color. So let it cool down on the wire rack for at least 15 to 20 minutes before you slice it. Make sure it is completely cooled down, otherwise it's going to crumble and break into pieces. Serve the pie with creme anglaise, the link for which it is given in the description box. You can also serve with ice cream if you like. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please like, share and subscribe, and thank you for watching.